Welcome back to Wave Listens Live. We've got elder advisors and a special guest. We've got Larry, 855-LARRY-55.
Do it, baby,
Lindsay,
right now.
40th birthday.
Yes.
And we've also got Ben visiting from Arkansas, AAPG. And a lot of you, if you watched that last segment, you've got a lot of questions.
We're here to answer most of them.
Larry's going to try to answer a couple of those here. You got something to say about that?
A couple things. First, I want to say hi to Snissy Newland. She's watching. She watches all the time. I sent her a text this morning. I just told her to watch the show. I didn't tell her anything about it. The other thing is, I truly want to thank the Wave 3 family. You guys are family to us. And, you know, Jeremy in production, Rich, and of course Sean. Not so much Sean.
That's the pity. Yeah.
But no, Wave 3 is our home here. And you guys, LA always jumps in and says hi. We love everybody here at Wave. And it just felt like a perfect little surprise for Lindsay. Everybody's been supportive and on it. So kudos to Wave 3.
He's mic'd up and everything.
I like this part. Yeah,
they are a part of the community, and I'm really grateful for Wave 3. But with Ben Jones, you know, when we're meeting with families, you know, one of the first things we tell them is we're not attorneys giving legal advice. There's lawyers for that. They do an important job. They're pillars of the community, and they do a great job with the legal stuff with Medicaid, no doubt. But often I find there's something at the kitchen table as well, and that's usually a financial component. It's maybe a common sense component. And otherwise, I believe that sometimes money is left at the table if we're not addressing the things at the kitchen table. And certainly, and I can't speak for Ben, I'm going to let him do it, but I think that's what Ben at the Arkansas group does as well, because there's very few people. I mean, Ben and I are unicorns in this industry, because everybody else basically spends out at the nursing home, or the gentleman meeting at 4 o'clock today thinks it's too late or we got time. You don't, because for husband and wife, if one spouse is going into care, we can protect all the assets. For a single person, we can protect about half. Now, if they went into care a year ago and they spent $100,000, they only have $100 left, that's all I got to work with. But if they come in now they got $100, I can protect half of that. And that's what Ben does at Arkansas Group. So in a quick synopsis, Mr. Ben, am I right or wrong with what you guys do in Arkansas?
Very, very much the same thing that you guys hear, and it's a privilege to do it every day. We find that we meet people at their greatest moment of need. People spend their whole life with a plan, with a purpose, with an intention of how to accumulate what they have, and then life hits them in the face, and they're searching for answers. And it's such a privilege to be able to serve the people that we do. And Larry and Lindsay are great resources for the people of Kentucky, Indiana, to be able to help them at a time of great need.
Wow, we're going to have to fly you up here more.
No. Well, and you know, the funny thing is, I don't have to call Ben often because I don't want to, because he's just like the rest of us. We're
Makes you
super
feel bad
busy.
about the work you're doing.
Yeah, I'm inadequate in all ranges, personal and professional. But Ben's busy and I am as well. But sometimes I do call him to bounce something off of him because I don't have anybody else, because Ben and I think outside the box. That's why we're successful to the degree we are, working with attorneys, working with realtors, working with CPAs, working with appraisers. All the stuff that goes along with this is because we're not afraid to ask, well, why not? Why can't we do that?
And I think that you said that we were unicorns. That's why the relationship is so unique, because nobody understands this stuff. And how often in our community are we sitting across from like, well, that other guy told me I just have to spend it, or he suggested I go out and buy a new car. And it's just like, what? Yeah. What? People don't do what we do, and that's what makes it so special. And so that's why you should call elder advisors and schedule an appointment.
Lindsay, before the break, or during the break, you were talking about how the men on either side of you right now have shaped who you've become in this business and this community throughout the work that you do. Just talk about that, working with Ben, working with Larry, knowing the importance behind how much further you can help somebody if you care, and why these two have set such a good example for you.
I'll try to do that. I'll try to do that without crying. So my background, I grew up in a nursing home. A lot of Kentuckiana knows that story. I was calling bingo and working in the dining room before I hit kindergarten because my mom's a social worker. And I went to, right after I graduated college, I went to work at a nursing facility. I didn't want to, but it was 2008 and what was available to me, and it felt like coming home. And this is a population I'm just deeply, deeply, deeply love to serve. And, you know, as I'm turning 40 and reflecting, I would not want my life to be anywhere else. And I worked for those nursing facilities, and I learned a lot, and it was great, but someone else was always paying me, right? And so with what we do, we're really able to work directly with the family. They're getting our unbiased full opinion, our professional opinion from a place of love. You know, I say to my families all the time, nobody pays me except for you. And that's what's so important. So if you want to work with a professional who's deeply passionate about that, you know, that's what we do. And so it's passion driven work. And I wouldn't, you know, Larry gave me that opportunity in November of 21, and Ben has been, and his team, it was Pam's birthday yesterday. Pam and Ben and their team has just been so open with us and helping us learn best practices, because that's how we continue to serve our clients the best, is to go out. We went to Arkansas to find it, who's doing it the best, so that we can bring those practices here and constantly improve for our, and these men take me there every day. So.
Fantastic work that you guys do. 855-LARRY-55. Call that right now. We got 45 seconds left, and I know we said that we would finish that list. 2 more things that we got to do. Tell us 30 seconds what the last 2 things are.
Failure to have your professionals collaborate.
Yep.
So attorneys, CPAs, which we're not, but making sure your entire team is collaborating. That's why Elder Advisors is a great first stop. And the last one is just people don't think it applies to them, but it does. It does. If you
It will.
If you have a checking account,
At some point.
If you have a checking account, you require some level of estate planning. So call today.
And you've got the number up there, the 855-LARRY-55. But to put a fine point on it as we wrap up the show, as far as this second segment today, that Showbiz Talk, is when these clients engage us, they get our cell numbers. This is stressful stuff. You know, Dad's in rehab, he fell, he's in memory care, what do I do? They get our cell numbers. They don't have to wait till Monday morning and play phone tag. They can call us Friday night. They burn up Autumn's phone. Autumn does a great job with placement and helping families. It's tough stuff, but we get across the finish line.
Yeah, that personal touch goes a long way.
Love what we do.
Guys, thanks for joining us. Happy birthday,
Happy
Lindsay.
birthday, Lindsay! We love you.